welcome to Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. And today, my guest is a special person, a special individual, and a special soul, Dada Nabhanilananda. I pronounced your name correctly, Dada, right?
You're very good. Yeah, you should get a special prize.
All right. So you guys can see him on the screen and on my Instagram page. Hi, everybody. You can't see Dada, but we're going to be posting that video and we're going to be talking about creativity and meditation, how meditation really boosts your creativity today. That's the topic we're going to be focusing on, but there's much more in store for you. So before we continue, let me read a little bit about who this amazing person is. And I'm talking about Dada, aka the monk dude. In fact, when I first met him several years ago at the business conference, there was a luncheon in one of the tech companies. I was really surprised to see a person wearing orange clothes, but because it wasn't part of my consciousness, I was looking for a guru or somebody who I can learn much from and also connect to the spiritual side of me more on a consistent basis. So Dada came along and I came up to him and I say, hi, my name is Zhanna. What is your name? And he says, the monk dude. And I started laughing and he says, well, that's actually my brand name. So Dada, that was my first experience. And then I realized that Dada is also a musician and that's how our story began. And now we are friends and he's also my spiritual guide too. So a little bit about Dada. Dada Nabhanilananda, meditative experience designer, musician and creativity consultant, or the monk dude, that's his brand name. Dada is a meditation instructor and author, a keynote speaker, and a musician. Born in New Zealand, he was ordained as a yoga monk in India in 1979. Dada has performed and spoken in more than 40 countries, including Brazil in 1992, where he appeared on stage with the Dalai Lama before 10,000 people. His book on meditation, Close Your Eyes and Open Your Mind, is available in 13 languages. Dada has taught and spoken on meditation, mindfulness, and creativity at organizations including Google, Apple, Cisco, Facebook, TEDx, Lam Research, NVIDIA, UC Berkeley, and UC Santa Cruz. And he's just an incredible person to be around, and I'm blessed to live in the area where he's residing right now. The meditation center in Los Altos is available to and open to everybody who is interested in meditation, whether that's for personal and individual private instructions from Dada or group meditations. So right now we are in times when group meditations are available for everybody around the world virtually. But when we come back to hopefully to the reality and start mingling with human beings and fellow human beings, then you guys are welcome. Dada, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Zhanna. Thanks so much for inviting me.
Yes, my first question to all my guests is, what is your big dream?
I dream of living in a world where human beings live in peace with one another and where people are treated equally and where there is social justice and economic justice and where we also are fair to, bunny rabbits, and we treat the environment as it should be treated, as like our relatives, basically, that we should be caretakers of the earth.
Mm-hmm. Well, behind you, I can see. Yeah, could you tell everybody what is behind you on the shelf?
Oh, I have my two otter friends, and there's an elephant. Those are sea otters. They're Californian sea otters, which are absolutely beautiful animals. If you live in California, I really suggest you go and visit them in Monterey Bay, where there's a bunch of them living, and they're wonderful.
And I know you're very fond of animals in general, but I think your favorite is octopus, correct?
I have like a lot of favorites, but octopus is one of them. Yes.
Yeah. I learned it from you that octopus is actually a very, very smart animal. And you know, there's a lot of books that you recommended on reading, especially about that specific animal. I didn't know they were so smart, but I'm learning every day, and especially from you. Dada, question.
Yeah.
How did you decide to become a monk in the first place? Because that's very unusual. You are the only one in people who I know in my environment and my world who made that decision.
So I grew up in New Zealand, as you know, and I was a student at my university in Wellington, and I was just 19, and I had a very extraordinary spiritual experience, and that changed everything for me. And before that, I played music. I wanted to have a nice life, and I was concerned about the future of the world because, I saw a lot of, human beings doing a lot of bad things. But I didn't feel there was anything I could do about it. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to live somewhere nice in the countryside and play music, and that's what I'll do. But when I had this spiritual kind of vision of infinite love, I realized that I could change, that I could become a better person. I could become more the kind of person I really want to be if I could follow a path of meditation and yoga and spiritual discipline. And I started doing that, and it really was, I found incredible happiness there. And I also had a sense of purpose, a sense of higher purpose. And that was kind of really what led me to this path, and especially the teachings of my guru from India. His name was Sri Anandamurti. So he was the greatest inspiration for me, amazing, great spiritual teacher and a visionary. And it was his vision of a world of peace and justice that really inspired me.
There's so many directions that we can go from here. There's a lot to discuss, but we promised to our listeners and the viewers that we will focus on meditation and spirituality, because I know you're very big, that topic really speaks to you, and in all those organizations that I mentioned from the bio, you do courses and workshops for them. And for our friends who joined us on Instagram, I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching us right now. This video is going to be available on YouTube and also on that Facebook page, Hummingbird Academy Today. We're sorry, it's just the Facebook wouldn't connect, or Zoom wouldn't connect, but we are recording it right now. So thank you for watching. I know you cannot see Dada, but I promise you will see him, and hopefully you will hear you hear his answers right now. So Dada, back to you. What exactly could you speak to how meditation is related to creativity?
Yeah, so creativity is one of those side effects. Tapping into your innate creativity is one of the unexpected side effects that I got out of meditation. I mean, I started out going into meditation. We were talking about this just earlier. I thought I was going to be able to levitate and do all these miraculous things, So I was 19, all right, and a pretty young 19. But after a while, I realized.
May I interject so that you guys understand? Dada, it's my favorite part in Dada's story, that one of the big reasons why he wanted to meditate in the first place was because he had this idea of levitation, and he thought that would bring him to that magical point. Has it happened yet?
Not physically, but you can certainly say I've gotten high. A natural high. It's actually, the weird thing is, I've had recurring flying dreams since I was very young. So I was really obsessed with flying and being able to fly. And because I've experienced it in dreams so many times, and I would find it frustrating that I couldn't do it when I'm awake. And I know there are quite a few people who experience that. So that was a little obsession, but really I found that there are much more important things than that. And that, I realized that actually wouldn't have necessarily made me particularly happier than I am now.
Right. Yes. 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 So back to how meditation is related to creativity.
Yeah. So as I said, it was an unexpected outcome. So I was a pianist since I was very young. So I was playing music every day and writing bad poetry, and I found after I learned meditation that the experience of playing music really became different. I remember I had an incredible kind of ecstatic experience when I was playing a piece by Beethoven, and I thought, what happened to me? I'm sort of, somebody put something in the meditation or something. It was really powerful. And later I came to understand that according to the philosophy behind yoga and meditation, this is to be expected. But what we're doing in meditation is going within, and we naturally tap into this or connect to this place where ideas come from, where inspiration naturally arises. So I've studied that and really studied the particular techniques within the whole framework of meditation that are specific to that. And that became, much later, became the framework for what I teach at companies and organizations like Google, and that when I'm teaching about meditation and creativity.
In the companies, like what are the specific benefits of when you're teaching at companies? I guess that's what I'm trying to ask you. When you're teaching at companies, it's you actually lead them through the meditation. And could you speak to what kind of meditation? Because there's a lot of types out there, but I know you do specific ones, specific one which is called kirtan, right?
Well, that's part of it, yeah. So the meditation I teach in groups is a technique that, it's you can say an entry level technique. If somebody goes into this practice more deeply, then there's a whole series of techniques that they might learn. But what I teach in companies is I get them to sing. So, and of course, I do this with Zhanna, and Zhanna has this amazing voice. So I love singing with Zhanna. And we sing together. We've done some songs together. You'll hear us doing that sometime. We're going to record together before too long. But so I get them to sing, and they sing a mantra, which is Baba Nam Kevalam. It's a spiritual mantra. It means only the feeling of limitless love. So in meditation, when we finish the singing, we go into silent meditation, but we're still focusing on the mantra and repeating it in our minds with the music going on in our minds, and focusing on this feeling that we're connecting to the source of love within ourselves. Now, most people that are teaching meditation, at least in this area, in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live, they're mostly teaching mindfulness, which is being in the present moment, which is a type of meditation which also has a lot of benefits, and it's related to what I teach. But we focus very much on this idea of connecting to the source of love, because that means the meditation is different. It has a more emotional quality to it, and you're really connecting to your most positive emotions.
So when we sing in kirtan, I just want people who are not familiar with kirtan meditation to really understand what is the structure. It's very simple, but if you could explain why we sing at the beginning, because the reason I'm asking, a lot of people think they cannot sing and they are shy. They become shy. They don't want to even on Zoom when we now have several groups. We'll speak about that a little bit later. But a lot of people, they don't, when it's in a live environment, in a group meditation, people tend to be shy and they don't sing. So are they singing for themselves, and what is the reason for singing? Because there's a lot of techniques when you can just focus on your breathing. What's the difference?
So, I always say that music is the either listening to music, but particularly playing or singing music, quickest legal way to change your emotional state, right? So if you're feeling a bit down and you come back from work and you're feeling you had an intense day, but you maybe had a fight with the boss or something, if you put on your favorite music nice and loud and sing along with it, you'll immediately feel better, right? We're designed to sing. There's even a theory that human language was first sung even before it was spoken, like 70,000 years ago or something like that. Human beings have been singing for a long time because it resonates in our body and our chakras, if you know what those are, in our nervous system, and it makes us feel good. And particular types of singing and particular types of music can induce different emotions. So why we use it leading into meditation is it's like you're setting it up. You're setting yourself up emotionally so meditation becomes easy.
Yes.
Then when you sit down and try and focus, it's easier because you're in the right mood.
And I love it how you usually say, when you basically, to me, when we sing, and it's like chanting the same idea, love is all there is, in loose translation, Baba Nam Kevalam. And when you sit in silence, you kind of prepare yourself for meditation. So it's like doing asanas, the postures, yoga postures before, so that your body is also prepared. And so you guys, I just wanted to speak to that, and so that people can hear it from you, that it's not about being a good singer. When you sing in a group, you sing for yourself. And the more you do it, the more you get accustomed to that. And it just prepares your whole system for going into a place of quietness and silence, where creativity is born. And I personally can speak to that from the experience when we meditated in your center in Los Altos every Tuesday. I would always keep my notebook next to me, because in meditation, all of a sudden, I don't know where that place is, the lines, I write songs, right? So the lines get downloaded and I just have to write it down, all I need to do. And it only happens when you quiet your mind. So I totally understand how the whole thing works. I mean, I maybe not here, but I experience that. That's the best I can.
That's more important. You know, experiencing something is more powerful than just knowing the theory. There's a lovely quote from Albert Einstein about this. You know this one. He says, I think 99 times and get nothing. I let my mind float in silence and the truth comes to me.
That is beautiful.
So this exploration of silence is actually where the ideas come from, where the inspiration comes from. And meditation is a very powerful way to go into that place deliberately. You can go there naturally just by walking in nature, perhaps. That's where a lot of people get inspiration. But meditation is a way of really learning to control that and be able to do it more deliberately and to develop it.
That is beautiful. And that reminds me that I want people to hear your song. When I call it When I Close My Eyes. It's Dada's song. He wrote it, and we sing it usually together when we are in the same space. But because of this technology, it's gonna be the delay in sound. So Dada, could you please sing it for us? And I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, this is just one. I mean, I do a lot of songs, but this is a kind of favorite. And I love singing it with Zhanna, but Zhanna's not going to sing with me now because we're not in the same space. It's not going to work. But it's not called When I Close My Eyes. That's the chorus. That was a title for it, but it's actually called the Unicorn Song. With my hands, I'll build a spaceship in case we run out of room. Like a wizard who helps everybody's dreams come true. With my hands, I only want to do good. Wouldn't you do that if you only could? With my head a song about saving the world. Every river, every robot, every boy, every girl. Singing wisdom is the one missing link, connecting what I feel to all that I think. When I close my eyes, my heart can open wide. Now I see who I'm meant to be. When I close my eyes, I no longer wonder why. Now I see who I'm meant to be. With my heart I'll turn your sadness into unicorns, and rainbows with more colors, and roses with no thorns. With our hearts we can travel so far. Together we can aim for the stars. When I close my eyes, my heart can open wide. Now I see who I'm meant to be. When I close my eyes, I no longer wonder why. Now I see who I'm meant to be. When I close my eyes, my heart can open wide. With our hearts we can travel so far. Together we can aim for the stars. When I close my eyes, my heart can open wide. When our hearts we can travel so far. Together we can aim for the stars. I hope you like it. It's my guitar. You couldn't see that in the camera. My baby. Your mic's off still. Turn your mic on. Zhanna, turn your mic on.
Sorry. I was gonna say that the sound on the computer is not that great. No, we could still hear. I'm just saying that we're gonna give everybody the link to your YouTube channel so that you guys can hear the song
Sure.
with the better quality, and it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, we're having trouble with the bandwidth here. I think that's why. Sometimes
Absolutely. That's why we couldn't stream live through Facebook. Yes.
we wanted to stream it live to Facebook. That's when it sounds good because they've got really, really good music set up, but
Yeah.
not Zoom.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's okay. We are all blessed.
It sounded better on Instagram. I think. I'm not sure.
I don't know. You guys can comment if you can hear me and Dada well right now, and then I will read your comments later a little bit. But it's nice to know because we are recording it on my computer right now, but upload to all these different platforms later. Dada, could you please recommend any of the books that have ever influenced you to the point that you always have them either in your heart or you carry them around because you're a very vivid reader? I know that.
I'm an avid. Yeah, you can see that's one of my bookcases behind me. I've got.
It's only one. It's not.
Well, I've narrowed it down. I'm a book nerd. So, some of the books. Well, I can mention a couple. Autobiography of a Yogi. That was a big inspiration to me. By Yogananda. It's like the most read book on spiritual yoga in the world. It's very well known.
Do you
show? I don't have that. I'm not actually going to show you that one. I'm going to show you this one. This is called Into the Magic Shop. And let me try and get it.
Into the Magic Shop. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're gonna
So
give
it's by, yeah,
them. I
it's
just
by
want to
Dr.
say,
Jim Doty.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Could you say it again?
So Into the Magic Shop by James Doty, or Dr. Jim Doty. He's actually a friend of mine. He works at Stanford University as a he teaches brain surgery. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's a pretty smart guy. He's a wonderful man. He's so kind and very funny, and he's a lovely man. And he leads a research project into compassion, studying compassion. And this book, Into the Magic Shop, is his memoir of how he went from being a boy in a very dysfunctional, very poor family to becoming a doctor, which was like an unimaginable dream for him. Then very wealthy, then he lost it. He actually gave it all away. And then it's an amazing story. He's really fun, and it's such an exciting book. I recommend it to everyone. It's in many languages, like 30, 40, 50 languages or something crazy.
We're
Okay.
gonna give people links to all the books that you're gonna recommend, so you guys don't have to take notes right now. Yes, well, it's gonna be beneath the video that I'm gonna upload.
So here's another one that I really enjoy. And it helped me to understand the connection between my state of mind or different states of mind and my imagination and the creative process. It's simply called Imagine. It has a beautiful cover. I love the design.
Yeah.
It's by Yona Lera, How Creativity Works. So that's just a little, if you like this topic particularly. And now I'm going to be a bit naughty and go out and recommend my own book. So this is called Close Your Eyes and Open Your Mind. It's a practical guide to spiritual. Oh, you've got Zhanna's got it as well.
I've got Dada's book. I've got, yes, your book right here. It's yeah. Do that.
So yeah, a practical guide to spiritual meditation, and that's where I explain in really as simply as I could, in a number of steps, the whole process of learning meditation and practicing meditation. And there's a link at the end. Well, now you were just putting the link in the new edition to an app where you can download a free app on either Android or iOS. It's called the Bliss Timer, and that's where you can practice meditation at home, and that's something that we and it's designed to go with the book.
No.
And then the last one is my other book that's what I call my sensible book. The one about meditation, that's my sensible book because it's actually has a point and it's trying to teach you something valuable. And then I have another book I call my silly book, which is this one, which has no use. It's called Real Dragons Don't Cry, and it's a comical fantasy novel. And I wrote it for fun, and I enjoyed the process enormously. And I just had the pleasure of a friend of mine has a recording studio, and we're in this kind of lockdown thing because of this pandemic. So I was able to he invited me to stay at his house. He got a big house, and he has this beautiful recording studio, and we spent 2 weeks recording the book. So I was reading it on the mic, and I relived because I published this I think 3-4 years ago now, and I was reliving the whole thing. And as I was reading it, it was so clear in my mind because I know this story really well because it was like a movie inside my head. It was so vivid. I really had a great time. I didn't expect that. It was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Just
so
audio.
that'll soon be coming out as the audiobook.
Yeah.
Real Dragons Don't Cry. We'll put the link to that. So that's
Of course, we're going to put the link to all the books, including this. Close your eyes and open your mind. I read it. I read it several years ago when I met you, and I have lots of notes inside the book. I want to ask you before we're kind of coming closer to the end of the program, the donkey maintenance. There's one chapter, it's chapter number 2, donkey maintenance. Could you explain to people what that means and where the expression comes from?
of course. So there is this wonderful historical figure. He's a real person. His name was Saint Francis. He lived in Assisi in Italy, and of course, San Francisco, our city nearby, was named after him. So he was a monk and a mystic and this incredible spiritual being. And he used to talk about his body, his physical body, as his donkey. And so, because he felt that, you know, the real me is not my body, it's my spirit. And it's like he's riding, the spirit is riding the donkey. The body is the vehicle
And how
for
it,
me to get around and do stuff, but it's not me. So that chapter is about maintaining your donkey, your physical body. So it's about health, natural health.
yes, which is also important. And and one more thing I want to touch upon. What's the definition of yoga? Because a lot of people in the Western society believe that yoga is the exercises, the physical exercises, and there's a lot of classes available called yoga.
Right. So, you know, we live in this consumer society, which has a way of commodifying and and kind of commercializing things. So the yoga tradition is a very ancient spiritual tradition. It's not just a set of exercises. That's one part of it. Yoga actually has 8 limbs, like an octopus, right? And the yoga physical exercises are just one of those limbs. And the rest of it is different types of meditation techniques. There are ethical principles there. There are breathing exercises. There's different types of concentration and visualization and mantras and all of this stuff. It's a whole set of practices and really a whole lifestyle. So the word yoga means union. It means union between the individual soul and the divine, limitless soul, of divine consciousness. So it's more than just a set of exercises to keep you
It
healthy.
seems like it's a way of living, right?
Yeah, it's a way of life.
A way of living. Yeah, that's what you are doing.
I like it.
Dada, thank you so much. So we want to speak a little bit about the meditation groups that are happening around the world right now. Could you please talk about that?
Well, of course, now many people around the world are staying at home, so everybody's frustrated and wants to connect with people because we're designed for that. We like other people,
Yes.
not too many of them, but just, you know, the right amount. And 0 is not the right amount for most of us. So we want to connect, and of course, then we're going to the internet. So right now, teachers in Ananda Marga, that's my tradition. There's a big group, you know, we have teachers all around the world, and many of us are running different programs, and also our students, like Zhanna's running meditation every day almost, isn't it? 5 days a week or something.
Yeah, I started doing global morning meditation, and anybody is welcome to join. It's usually Monday, Tuesday, all days except for Wednesdays and Sundays. So that's happening on, I mean, in the morning every day. And if you guys are interested, we're gonna put the links. Let us know, and we will include you on the list, right?
So yeah.
Yes.
So I run a group every Tuesday. I'm continuing our Tuesday where we normally meet in person. I've shifted the time a bit, but every Tuesday evening I have a meditation group online at 5:30. This is all Pacific Standard Time, USA. And then the same time on Thursday, I have a philosophy class every week. And I'm working with our network of teachers, and in 2 weeks we launch this big program, which will be 3 months of daily classes. It's a whole set. It's called Spiritual Lifestyle Training. And the first part is that, and then the second part is called Spiritual Leadership Training, because it's really aimed at youth. Because I believe that the future of kind of obviously the future of the world is in the youth. And so it's free for university students, particularly. If you're not a university student, you can still join, but we ask for a donation. And we have right now 17 different teachers, and right across the world. One of them's in Kenya, one's in Brazil, one's in Venezuela. There's quite a few in the US, and we have teachers in Indonesia. So we've got a whole of teachers participating, and it'll be every day a meditation session, a group meditation, and a yoga class. Means yoga postures class.
Mhm. Mhm.
and a discussion or philosophy class or a chance to meet and get to know one another. There'll be those sessions basically every day for 3 months.
That's it. That is amazing. I just learned about it today from you. It's incredible. So if you know of anyone who is a university student, let them know, because this is a rare opportunity to join for no cost. And it's Dada, in general, I think this is the time to bring massive value to people, and I'm doing it in my way. Like tomorrow, I'm doing a concert for the Russian speaking people online, Zoom. I don't know what the sound is going to be, but I will do my best just to bring people up to, just up to the in the place where creativity starts, meaning I want them to be focusing on who we truly are rather than what is happening and coming our way, because it's so easy to slip into this fear and doubt and worry about what's coming up. And the only solution, as I see it, it's meditation, staying in the present moment, being in your body, and just doing what you can and what you're inspired to do in any given moment of our life. That's just my take on that. And what you are doing with all those meditations and uh, now available around the world. Of course, timing could be a tricky part. That's why we set up the groups for morning and afternoon. I don't know if we have afternoon, but definitely morning and evening.
Yeah, we do.
We do
Yeah.
afternoon. So guys, basically the bottom line is I'm going to put all the links beneath the video on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. And if you have questions for Dada specifically, or for me, if you just put it in the comments below. There's also a lot of ways to connect with Dada directly. If you want to have private lessons on meditation and you want to get deeper into spiritual practices that Dada is teaching, talk to him. And if you want to join any of the group meditations, talk to us. We are available and we're here to help and serve. That's what I love about you. Dada, any other last piece of wisdom for all of us?
Well, there's a beautiful quote from my spiritual master, Anandamurti, and it's kind of long, but the last bit is my favorite. So he talks about how, and I'll paraphrase the first part because it's quite long, but he starts off saying that the future of humanity is not dark. Rather, it is strikingly resplendent. So he was the ultimate optimist. And he said, yeah, in the near future, he died in 1990, but he talked a lot about the near future. He said, in the near future, humanity is going to face a lot of challenges. It was obvious. And he was also a very visionary person. But, and we realize that now, but he said, don't worry. Beyond that, there'll be a kind of a golden age. And the last part of his quote was, proceed on, ignoring the frown of darkness.
Oh,
And I love that.
I love that. Could you please send it to me so that I can post it also? You can post
Give me the whole
yourself
quote,
on
sure.
Facebook. I love that. Could you repeat the very last sentence?
He said,
Beyond.
proceed on, ignoring the frown of darkness.
Yeah, so show must go.
That's always something I come back to. If I'm ever feeling troubled, or if I see any problem that I can't solve, or if other people might be having, I always come back to that. It's really, for me, it's very powerful.
Yes, yes. I've never heard that before from you. I hear a lot about but not that one. See, I'm learning too. Thank you so much. Guys, you've been listening and watching Dream Big with Zhanna, inspiring you to reignite, refire, and refuel your life. And today I had such a blessing to have a conversation with one of my dear, dear friends and also spiritual guide, Dada Nabhanilananda. I said it, Dada.
You did it by now, but you're good. You're good.
Okay. Thank you so much. And we're going to be uploading everything on all these platforms, YouTube, Facebook page, Hummingbird Academy today, and my Instagram. So any questions, comments, connecting with Dada, looking for the books that he recommended, in questions about meditation and creativity, reach out. Thank you.
Thanks, Zhanna. It's always a joy to talk to you.
Bye.